Hey guys, today we invited two Yonsei students who previously went on exchange to share their experiences and stories, and I'm your host, Elisa.
I'm your host, Fiona.
I'm Yenlik.
And I'm Alua.
Okay, so very first question, where did you guys go on exchange?
So I went to the United States to the University of Washington in Seattle.
And I went to Singapore to Nanyang Technology University.
Then was there a specific reason why you chose that country or region?
Generally, I would say that studying in the States is quite expensive, but since I've got a chance to study there for free, I was very excited to do that. That's why.
I would say I was just always interested in Southeast Asia and I just wanted to travel around. I thought picking an English-speaking country would have been the best.
So was Singapore your only choice, or were you considering other countries as well?
I think Singapore was kind of my only choice. I did put a few European universities, but my first choice was NTU and the second choice was NUS.
Did you only apply to University of Washington or other states?
I applied to two universities, and actually UW was my second choice. My first was UPenn.
What was the application process like? Was it competitive, or what was your guys' experience with it?
I think the application process is the same for any university you apply for exchange. So basically you just need your TOEFL and GPA, and that's it, right?
Yeah, I think what makes it competitive is your TOEFL and GPA. I've heard going to States is very competitive, but as long as you go above the bar, I think you will get it.
I heard about the partnership rule where there has to be an equal amount of numbers. So for example, if Yonsei sends 2 to NTU, then NTU has to send 2 back. Does that apply to every school, or is that?
I think so. I think Yonsei sends Yonsei send 4 students to NTU, and then NTU send 4 students to Yonsei.
Then were there multiple rounds of application? For example, interview, and you had to pass all 3 rounds or something to kind of finalize your acceptance?
For me, it wasn't like that. You just had to apply a regular way, and then you had to apply through the university system itself. For University of Washington, you had to write an essay and everything, but I've heard it differs.
For NTU, it's pretty simple. You apply through Yonsei first, and then once they accept you, you just need to put your documents, transcripts. One of the more difficult parts was you have to put classes you're taking currently, but there's a specific document. I just had to make sure personally I had to advise my academic advisor, because I wasn't really aware of what document they're asking for, but there was no essay, no interview, just documents.
I heard from someone that apparently you have to take all of your MBs first. I'm not sure if this applies to the major you were studying, but for econ, I heard you had to you have to finish all of your MBs first to go on exchange.
Since I'm double majoring in econ, I didn't have this requirement at all, so I could take any econ or design course I wanted.
Yeah, I don't really recall anything like that, but I don't think there were any requirements. You could just take any classes you want, and I took mostly design classes.
What major did you go in as?
So one of the reasons I picked NTU was because they had a art design media college, and that's the major I went for. But they were pretty similar in the sense that you could pick any classes that you want. I just picked 5 design classes out of what they offered.
And you had econ and design classes to choose from?
Yeah, so I basically, since I had the chance to choose any class I wanted, I chose a bunch of random courses. I took astronomy, I joined the choir, and we performed in churches.
Wow. And was it hard to transfer your credits though? Because would astronomy be under electives, or?
Yeah, it was under the electives. But for example, I took an art history class, and then I contacted the professor for the visual something seminar. She actually let me transfer.
So then for UIC at least, if you go on exchange, you automatically, it deducts one UIC seminar requirement. Does that mean you got 2 deducted?
Basically, yeah.
Wait, but for every class you take abroad, does that mean you have to consult with each professor basically here?
Yes.
Oh, so you have to consult and be will you accept this as this credit?
Yes.
Otherwise, it will be just general elective, and they won't have any specific name on your transcripts.
Oh.
So you have to individually reach out and look through the course catalog to see if they match.
Yeah.
Then did the OIA specifically help out with the application process? Because sometimes they have info sessions, but it's only in Korean, I believe.
No, the info sessions, I'm not quite sure if there was an info session, but all the information I got was in Korean and in English. Other 3 students that were going to NTU with me were from main Yonsei, electrical engineering and other students, but they still also were very friendly and also spoke English. Even though for transferring credits, our IAD professor did not reply to me, so
Oh no.
No, I did transfer my credits, but they're just general electives. They're not like major specific. But I guess it's also sort of on my side because I wasn't really persistent. I just texted like twice. I emailed them. I sent the class I'm taking. I was like, what corresponding classes could I like transfer it as? And I never got a response. My friend who went to Mexico also never got a response.
So it really depends on the professor.
No, you just have to be persistent. I think you just have to put a lot of effort.
You just gave up.
I gave up.
Aside from what the school tells you, how much research did you have to do on your own when it comes to researching the universities you want to go to, or like the courses, or did the school help out with that?
Regarding the university choice, I think I was very lucky because I didn't really care. At first, I was like, the best design universities ever. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna apply to these two. And I applied and I got in. And I think I was very lucky because Seattle is a very nice city and Washington itself is a very democratic state. So I was very lucky.
I also didn't do much research. Once we got the list of like the spreadsheet with all the university, I just put it in ChatGPT and asked like what universities had design majors. It gave me a list and then I picked based off like how much I want to travel. But also like with course registration for NTU is a bit more difficult because there were a lot of classes that you're not allowed to take as an exchange student, or you have to have prerequisites. And to have the prerequisite to take a class, you have to transfer your like Yonsei classes and be like, these are my prerequisites. So there were a few classes I couldn't take.
Then how was course registration for you?
It was okay. It was quite easy. You just had to apply and that's it, and you got a seat. You just had to do it early.
How many people were usually in one classroom?
For econ classes, it could be like 200 or something. For choir, it was like 20. For astronomy, it was like 200 again. And yeah, for data science, it was like 150.
For me, it went from like 10 to max 20 probably. And there are very little classes. That's why the course registration is called STAR, like the website. So they call it Star Wars because it's also first come, first serve. So it's actually, it was very difficult because you have to keep appealing to a professor if you really want to take the class and keep sending the reason why you want to take the class. So for one of my classes, I had to show up to the class and be like, Professor, I didn't get it. I'm on a wait list. I was like 10th and I was like, can you please add me? I really want to take this class. I think maybe in Asian universities a bit more difficult, at least based off like Yonsei and NTU.
Did you get in though?
Yeah.
Oh, period.
She was persistent this time.
When you're registering in NTU, you have to put like a code, just like with our codes, but you don't see the name of the class. So I just put random codes, and all the random classes, like I just made up codes like DT 2020, and whatever class showed up, I was like, well, I guess I'll take it.
You made up codes? So there are like a lot of
there are a lot of design courses. So I was like, each of them stands for something like 2020, second year classes, etc., etc. So I just was like, whatever this code gives me, I'll take that class.
Ooh, she really YOLO'd.
Exchange was YOLO.
I respect
But like she
that.
got in, so like
She got in.
period.
I mean, okay, the biggest fear of every international student, how is the visa application process like? Because in Korea it is pretty like gruesome, I would say, and it takes a while to get your ARC, right? What about like Singapore and like the US?
It was harder than any visa I've ever gotten in my life. Well, US visa process is quite long and like quite expensive. You had to apply online and then come to an interview offline, and the interview is very harsh too. And lots of my friends actually got rejected last semester and this semester too, because right now if you're an international student, you cannot apply through a different country if you want to get US visa. You have to apply from your country. So in my case it was a year ago, so I got my visa, but after that it's not like that anymore.
And like what documents did you need to prepare?
A lot. Financial statement. I had to get vaccinated actually. It was a random shot. I don't even remember what was it for, but you had to get it. I've heard that for other states you had to get even more.
Really?
I've only had to get one.
Oh, so it differs per state?
It differs per state. Lots of documents like transcripts, that your visa, that you're officially staying here.
So you had to visit like different embassies.
Only
not
US
just-
embassy
only
in
US.
Korea.
What about Singapore then?
It was pretty easy because we have the same passport, right? Like, I don't even remember the visa process. I think it was fully online. I didn't have to go anywhere. All I remember, I think I had to take a picture yeah, I did have to take a picture. That was probably the only physical thing you have to do. And then get all the transcript and all the documents from Yonsei. But that's all in portal. The only thing is when you're going, like, you have to submit to the university like a health insurance thingy. And it's kind of difficult to understand. It doesn't really specify what it is. It just says like a health insurance. And we already paid to the university like $400, and they said it includes health insurance. So I was kind of confused. I didn't do it until the last minute, and Yonsei says you can't go unless you do it. So then it happened that like you have to contact a bank. You have to call a bank, pay like a specific amount, and it will cover some part of your, like, if something happens to you, basically.
Oh, like that's really complicated.
It was very complicated.
How long did that take though? Because you said you kind of did it last minute, right?
Well, because there were other students that were going to NT too. I texted them, and then they said like, yeah, you have to call a bank. So I just called them and I said, this is an emergency. I'm flying like the day after tomorrow. I need it like tomorrow. And then they sped it up for me.
How did you reach out to the other exchange students though?
After you get in, they send like emails for everyone, and then there are other students who are going to the same university's email account, so you can kind of see it. So I mean, it was other like a different girl that reached out for everyone, and then made a Kapala group chat.
First impressions abroad, I'm sure there's a lot of culture shock. What was your guys' biggest culture shock?
For me, it was obvious. It was probably guns and homeless people. So yeah, I was quite scared at first to go outside, because like I remember once I was coming back to my dorm after my flight, and I was just walking at night.
It was like the first day.
It was like the first week. I was walking at night, and the homeless person came to me. He was like, "Do you want a pop quiz? Do you want a pop quiz? Do you want a pop quiz?"
A pop quiz?
A pop quiz.
Oh.
I don't know. I was so scared, but then I got like, maybe I should say yes. I wonder what the question is.
You got curious.
No. And he was following me for a long time. But then since I ignored him, he just left. So
Good.
What about guns?
So I've worked as a facilitator, and I've had my own like mentees, my children. They were the same age as me though. So one of them lived in the dorm, and suddenly someone shot a gunshot into his window. And he was living on the 5th floor, and it got to the ceiling.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And I was reading this on the news, and I was like, oh, like, it happens all the time. But then I realized it was my mentee.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
So it's a little bit crazy out
That
there.
sounds scary.
Like, did the
Yeah.
university like investigate, like, or did they just like?
Yeah, but I don't think they found the person who did it.
What about Singapore? I know Singapore doesn't have guns, thankfully.
Yeah, I don't think there were any like big cultural shocks for me, like because it's an Asian country. Maybe one of the things was that they had very like strict rules. At least that's how Guy told us, that like you can't smoke anywhere you want,
Oh, yeah,
and
you
you're gonna get
can't.
fined.
Gum is illegal in
Right,
Singapore.
right.
Gum is illegal. Jaywalking is illegal. I don't think it's that strict. If like obviously everyone says it's strict, and I don't know if I can say it in camera, but it's not that strict.
If you know, you know.
You know. But I think it could be also because NTU is very far from the city center. It's like
Oh.
just like Songdo to Shincheon. It's like an hour and a half subway ride.
Really?
So there's not much around NTU. It's like a lot of forests and etc. And it's very big. So I don't think it's as surveilled as like the city center. Cultural shock though was because Singapore was made like Chinese people, Malay people, and Indian people. The racial hierarchy was kind of a cultural shock.
Yeah, it's not really like a homogeneous country like Korea, right?
It's like very diverse.
What about the food though? Singapore has really good food.
Yeah, I think that was one of the reasons I really didn't want to go to like a white people populated country, because food is so important.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
there, oh my god, I still like till this day before we go to sleep, I always remember there was a Indian little like cafeteria, like in the cafeteria, the stall. Their food was the best, and it's in the cafeteria is so cheap. It's like $4 for Singaporean dollars, which is like 4,000, 5,000 won.
Ooh.
And you can get so much.
Indian food at the cafeteria?
Yeah, and here's like what 18,000, 20,000.
And you get like chayuk.
Yeah.
Oh.
The food was really nice. Unless you're ordering on Grab, which is like Kupang Eats, was quite expensive. I remember once I ordered Popeyes for like $28.
Oh. So they really encourage like going out. Like, was the food good near campus though? Because you said it was like kind of isolated and it's not like in
Yeah.
downtown?
Yeah, it was very good. I think there were a lot of like hoka centers, which is like cafeterias, like open air cafeterias. But also NTU is like a very, very big campus. So there are, I think, 12 cafeterias there.
Was it good? Like,
Yeah, each cafeteria has like at least like 5 different food, like Chinese food, Malay food, Indonesian food. It was good. There were a few that were like really good.
I should go to NTU.
Yeah, you should go to NT.
For the food, I think NTU was the best.
Really?
I actually, when I came to Korea, I lost so much weight because I just couldn't eat like a lot of food. There I went, I was so happy. I was eating 3 times per day, full meals, always finishing my meal, and always hungry.
I was gonna ask like if you compare it to Yonsei, but she answered it before I could even ask. Okay.
Alua.
Alua, how was the food there?
Yeah.
The food was actually okay.
Really?
Because it's Seattle and we had lots of Asian people. So I could always eat like Asian food or Japanese food or even like Turkish food. But not so much. Yeah. And since it was located like in the middle of the city, it was like almost the center, not downtown. We could always like order or go somewhere to eat. Yeah, it's very hard to survive in the US when you don't have a car. Yeah, but luckily my friends had it, so we could go anywhere, anytime.
Passenger princess.
Yeah.
Did you ever go to the cafeteria though?
Oh yeah, because we had to pay for the dining money. So I had like a certain amount of money I had to spend and I couldn't spend it like at all. So I was like, oh, who wants Starbucks? Let's go. I'm gonna buy you Starbucks. Because you had to like finish the money until the quarter ends.
Wait, but you do basically like prepay for it.
Yeah, you have to.
Like meal swipes? Like
Kind of like meal credits, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah. So they make sure that you eat. But
was the food good though?
in the cafeteria, it was okay, but not so good. I didn't like it that
I mean,
much.
if you compare it to NTU.
Yeah, for sure.
It was so good.
Fine dining. Fine dining.
How was moving in for you guys though? Do you guys live in the dorms then?
Yeah.
Is it mandatory to live in the dorms?
No.
No?
Oh, okay. But then, yeah, how was moving in for you guys? I mean, like, new country, you don't really know any people there yet.
It was okay. Just arrived on campus and then I asked around. They helped me with my luggage and everything. And I just moved into my dorm room.
I guess I didn't have that good of an experience. I just remember my flight was at night, so I arrived at like 12. And they give keys, but like the office is open only until 4. So I had to like get someone who's gonna pick it up for me because otherwise I can't like move in until like 9 a.m. I asked this girl to pick it up for me, she picked it up. And there are a lot of dorms, like the campus is like huge. So like she picked it up and I had to walk like at least like 5 minutes, but like with 2 suitcases to like my actual dorm. I was living on the 3rd floor and there was no elevator. Because it was nighttime, so there was no one. So no one even like could help me, you know? And it was hot. It was so hot and it's open space like dorm. So like
There's be humid.
Very, very humid, very, very open. So like there's no AC. There's AC in the room though. And I got lucky, I got a room with an AC, but there are rooms with no AC.
And then you guys pay the same price?
Yeah, but we pay for the AC. To use it, like there's an app and then you put money and then like it takes like hourly coins.
Oh, so you have to pay for the electricity bill basically then?
Basically, yeah.
Singapore without AC?
Yeah.
Sounds like hell.
Yeah. And it goes only until like 22. It doesn't even go until 18 degrees, like the AC.
Did you guys choose your roommates or like it was
random.
Yeah.
You could switch with someone if you want to live with someone, but no one knew anyone regardless, so.
It was random for me too.
Wait, in the States, I don't know if it applies to University of Washington as well, but they have like, I don't know what they're called, like a really big house with like a lot of like 4 people or like 8 people.
Like where the fraternities and
I don't know, because my friend is currently on exchange. She's dorming with like, I think 4 to 5 people. And it's kind of like a house with like 4 rooms. And they share like a toilet, a kitchen, like a living room.
An apartment.
Kind of, basically.
Oh, yeah, we had lots of dorms. And I guess if I paid more, I could have lived in something like this. It's more like apartment-based dorm. But I lived in a classic normal dorm.
Wait, so did you get like, you said your roommate explained everything to you. Was your roommate a full-time student there?
Yeah, I actually had 3 roommates. So there were 4 of us in a room. But the room was quite large and we had like everything for ourselves. But yeah, I value my personal space, so it was hard at first. But yeah, at first they explained how the laundry works. Where do I go to eat? How do I spend my Dani money and everything.
Was it like that for you too?
No, my roommate was from Finland. She was also exchange student.
Because in Yonsei we have a separate dorm, completely separate dorm for exchange students, right? Academic experience. Which one do you prefer more, Yonsei or your exchange university? Okay.
You can say exchange university.
Okay. Let me rephrase the question. Did you guys actually go to class?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I enjoyed going to class a lot.
Was like the attendance policy as strict as Yonsei?
No, attendance didn't really count. For example, I had 1 econ classes I didn't go to. It was 8 a.m. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So I almost never went. I just came for the exams and stuff.
Maybe because I studied design, which all of the classes are only once per week, but like 3 to 4 hours. You can't really skip it. And no, it was way more difficult than studying in Yonsei. At least IAD. Like studying design there, they take it so seriously. Classes are very, very competitive because for us, design classes are absolute grading. So everyone can get an A as long as you put effort. But there, it's on a curve. So all of them have been studying design for quite a long time. And for me, because I went on my second semester, so it was only 1 semester that I've ever studied design. It was very, very difficult. I didn't know if like my grades are gonna matter because like I'm on a scholarship, so like I have to maintain a GPA.
Because I know like exchange students who are coming to Yonsei, like they all say their GPA doesn't matter because it doesn't reflect on their transcript back home. It's like pass, non-pass, right? What about like you guys when you went to exchange?
We get an actual GPA, but it doesn't transfer. So we didn't really care for grades. At least I didn't. Did you?
I didn't know if it transfers or not. I mean, I didn't ask. And it did stress a bit because I didn't want to have fun, but I also didn't want to fail my classes. And then apparently, no, it's just pass or non-pass. As long as you pass all of your classes, they're just going to be like as if you took 5 general elective classes. And not going to reflect on the Yonsei GPA. Like, Yonsei counts only the Yonsei GPAs. Like, only Yonsei taking classes.
I didn't really care for GPA, but because I liked the classes so much, I somehow got the dean's list.
Oh!
It was a surprise for me too.
Yeah.
How different or similar was the teaching style? Because like at least for econ classes in Yonsei, they're mostly like just PPTs, no assignments, only exams.
For me, I felt like professors actually cared. They remembered us and asked questions, and they didn't really look at the PPT. They weren't just reading them. They were explaining their subject with their whole heart. And even in my astronomy class, we had like a lot of elderly people. I don't know why we had them, but I think they could just come to listen just because, and it shows how interesting the classes are.
I think because I have been enjoying my IAD classes. Professors are quite invested in the work we do. So there it was similar. They really wanted us to succeed. Professors were really, really nice. I think classes were small, so professors remembered you, which is the same as here. I don't know. Their facilities were way better for like design. It was just like that was the only building that's 24/7 open in NTU, and that has AC like 24/7 running. Because obviously design students are the only ones who are always pulling all-nighters.
So you can just stay there without like charging your AC card.
Yeah, there's a lounge, there's a TV, there's a specific like a little room with like a bed, a lot of like
where you can rest basically.
Yeah, there are always students sleeping there. There are showers because everyone just stays there 24/7. It never shuts. All the other students from all the other majors always study in like that building, and it's very, very beautiful. The professors were, I thought they weren't strict, but I ended up not getting a single A, so I don't know.
What about like the classroom atmosphere? Because like I'm not sure about UIC, but most of the classes in Yonsei's, the general ones, everyone is pretty passive. They don't really interact with each other. They don't interact with the professor that much. What about in your guys' universities?
I think the students were much more active. They always answered the questions when the professor asked, even if the answer was wrong and everything. And when you sat next to other students, they would talk to you. That's how I made my first friend in America. And yeah, I feel like everyone is much more open to connection, and I wish we had this in Yonsei too.
Yeah, like kind of like small talk culture. I feel like it'd be better if it was more prominent in Korea, like in Yonsei.
I think same, like people were very nice. I had only 2 classes where people weren't talkative, and it was a 9 a.m. class and 7 p.m. class. So everyone obviously was tired. But for all the other classes, people were very talkative. They were always joking around. I think it's also because there are a lot of like exchange students. I took all like major electives, so like any majors could take the class. So I had like history students, biology students in my classes.
Talking about like social life from like small talk and all that, did you have any like events there, like orientation or something where you could meet new people at the beginning of the semester? Or like did Yonsei hold it here so you could meet other exchange students as well?
I think Yonsei did hold it here, but I did not attend because it was mostly in Korean, I feel like, and the other students were from the main Yonsei. And I actually met the students that came with me in Seattle, not in here. But the University of Washington actually held a lot of orientations, and I still get the emails from them. So lots of free food, lots of like games and everything. So yeah, and I also joined an organization for international students called Unite, and I was a member there, and then I became a facilitator, and I actually got paid when I did that, and it was sponsored by the university for us to interact with each other, and they sent us to the retreat in the forest for 3 days for free with free food and everything. So I think it was amazing, and I think we should have something like this in here too.
I agree.
Me too, I agree.
In the span of a semester, you became like a member. You
Yeah.
joined the club, you became a member, and then facilitator. And she went on the
to
retreat.
the forest.
Free food.
Yeah.
What about NTU?
We did have like 2 orientations. We had Singapore tour in the very beginning, and then NTU tour. NTU tour was like at 9 a.m. so I didn't go. But there was a Singapore tour at like 2 p.m. and they were like all the exchange students. There were 2 days, so like first day and second day, and they like put us in the bus, and then we'll travel. We just walked around like Singapore's popular place. They taught us about like the culture. So that's how I think most people met. But because the campus was so big, I think in Yonsei, at least when you're living in the dorms, it's so easy to meet your friends. You just go downstairs, you can like accidentally meet them. But there, the dorms were too big. Like campus is too big, so whenever you wanted to meet your friends, you always had to put effort to go out of your room and then walk towards like the meeting spot.
You said you joined Unite,
Yeah.
like a social club. Then was it hard to join clubs for you? Because I know that Yonsei clubs, at least sometimes they don't accept like guest staff or like exchange students at all. Then like, did you have a chance to join any clubs?
I did have a chance to join clubs, and there were a lot of bands too. But because in Yonsei, as a foreigner, it's very hard to join a club, I didn't even consider it until I went on a fair. And I was like, oh my god, I forgot that because it's an English-speaking country, I can join any club I want. I end up forgetting again, so...
So basically, making friends there is a lot more easier in Yonsei, I'm assuming. Is it?
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't really know. I feel like I made my friends in Yonsei like the first night, and since then we've been friends. I don't like, it was pretty similar.
But it's easy to make small talk with people there.
Yes, definitely. People are like very open and friendly. I think it's the weather.
The weather.
Yeah.
Is it like hot like throughout? Like hot in the day, hot at night?
Yeah.
Pretty sure it's like hot in the day and humid at night.
Yeah.
No wind,
No,
nothing.
barely.
Barely any wind.
It's like Korean summer all year round. If you had the chance to repeat your exchange semester or year, is there anything that you would have changed?
Nothing. I wouldn't change anything. I think it was perfect. Maybe I would get more mentally prepared, and maybe I would bring more Kazakhstan chocolates from that.
I would have traveled a bit more. I went only to Vietnam and Malaysia. I should have gone because like there were a lot of students traveling like to Cambodia, Bali, Thailand, but I didn't go home. So like after like Yonsei, I went right away, and I felt like I was just like first 2 months I was just like mentally exhausted. First week I really want to go back to Korea. So I feel like I would have just like been out of my room a bit more.
You were homesick, basically, kind of?
I just couldn't get like I couldn't adapt to like the style of living there right away.
Makes sense.
But that's normal, I feel like. My first week I was lying in my bed, like I wasn't even eating or anything because I really wanted to go back. I was like, why did I even do that to myself? Like, why would I put myself through something like that? Like, adapting again, finding friends again. I don't like doing that. And the weather in Seattle was so bad. It was gloomy and raining all the time.
I mean, you said you did want to travel more, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you? Did you get to travel a lot?
Yeah, to different states with my friends, because I had lots of friends as exchange students and freshmen international students. So we got to travel to California or Hawaii. And also my family came. It was their first time in the United States as well. And we traveled to New York.
New York.
New York.
I see.
Then was there like a specific event that allowed you to kind of like move out of your comfort zone? Because you guys both said like first few weeks, first few months, you guys were kind of just like stuck in the room, kind of like homesick.
I feel like you just have to push yourself to do it. No one will push you to do it. So
Yeah. I feel like there I had to put a lot of effort to like, well, not a lot, but like effort actually to meet your friends. Because like in some of the dorms, you can always hang out together and then have more time to bond, but there. So, well, first 2 weeks, obviously, we're just going out the whole time. There were a lot of Europeans on exchange, actually. I've heard, like, other friends, too, that they had a lot of Europeans, which was a bit of a cultural shock, because, like, here, it's, like, everyone, like, mostly Asians and, like, then other ethnicities, but there, among exchange students, like, the first night I went out, it was just, like, 20 white people. I felt left out for the first time. And making friends, you kind of, because it's short time, you kind of have to start putting effort right away. For me, how I made my friends, like one of my friends, I just texted him and was like, can you adopt me? It worked out.
Is anyone going on exchange?
Mm-hmm.
Use that method.
Yeah, because that friend has a lot, like, is very, very social and has a lot of friends and, like, makes friends very easily. So that's kind of what I do here, too. Just ask my very outgoing friend to be like, can you adopt me?
Was there anything that you wish you had known then, maybe before applying?
Or before like moving.
Like, it could be like very random things like, oh, I should have brought like big towels or whatever, because like in Korea, towels are very small, right? Yeah, like maybe something like that.
Router, a Wi-Fi router. There's no Wi-Fi in the rooms like we have. So I had to buy my own here in Kupang for like, and then you connect it there. And also their like the charging plugs are different from Korea. It's like
I just wish I did more research, because what I did was very not good. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone.
What about like something about classes? Like you said earlier, you wish you thought more about like, oh, joining clubs and all that, right?
Yeah, I definitely joined a club, and because like even within the club they seem very like friendly with each other. And I'll probably think about my classes before taking and actually look into what classes I was about to take.
Not putting in random codes.
But I mean, I got lucky. I got very interesting classes. It was all design classes because I thought I can transfer them, which I could, but I think that's what I probably regret, but it's like post-exchange that I should have put effort into transferring my credits like as at least MEs, not even MRs, like rather than just being like, okay, they can be general electives. Because then I could just take random classes like Chinese, I don't know, like random classes, like astronomy. But I actually took like game design, documentary filmmaking, product design, which I can't transfer to IID.
I was gonna say like, what classes do IID offer then? Like if you can't transfer like product design.
Like art history. I think we have that class, design history. There's also like visual communicating, like storytelling class they have, which could also be transferable here, I think. Comparing, they had way better design classes.
So you need to step up.
Yeah, we don't even have a studio. We don't even have a studio for IID. Yonsei, we don't even have a studio.
And then they have a whole building.
They have a whole building.
Free AC.
And showers.
Showers. All of their stuff is paid for. Like they have my subscriptions, which on its own costs like $128 a month. Like if you want to get it on your own, but they have the best like computers for design, exhibitions, filming equipment. They have a cinema in the building.
Wow.
I should go to
wood cutting.
Maybe I should go to Singapore. So if you had to basically sum up your entire experience in one word, what would it be?
Fun.
Grateful.
Grateful. Very nice words.
Very nice words.
And I guess you both would go again if you could, right?
In a heartbeat.
Would you have wished that you would have went like a semester? Was that an option?
I
Oh,
went
sorry,
for a
a year.
No, it was not an option. But no, I don't think I would have gone for a year. I think the semester was good because everyone I went with who are my friends, because we still talk with my exchange friends. We call every week. They all went back too. Most of them. There's only one girl who went for a year.
I actually applied for 2 semesters, but then since University of Washington has like quarter system, I got to go to 2 quarters, but then come back in 1 semester. So it was perfect. Like I don't know how it happened, but it was so perfect because I went from January to June, so it was like 6 months of studying, but I didn't have to skip like 2 semesters.
That's nice.
But then I had visa problems because Yonsei thought I wasn't coming back. And they were like, oh, you're coming back? And then my advisor would send like lots of emails to OIA to like help the student out, please. She wants to come back.
Would you have like any advice you want to give to students who are like still thinking, should I go on exchange, should I not?
You should go.
Yeah, you should go 100%.
Anything you want to say for students who are going to go on exchange?
Get your money up.
What is
It's gonna be a bit more expensive than you expect because you'll
yeah.
want to go out all the time.
For sure. Just do it. You're gonna be fine.
Okay, so yeah, thank you for coming on here today.
Thank you. Very insightful. Very fun.
Very
Hopefully.
insightful. Now I want to go on exchange.
Very grateful.
Yeah, very fun. Very fun.
Okay. If you guys want to see more videos, make sure to
Like,
Comment.
And subscribe to
the Yonsei Annals. Bye.